Hello. Yay.
Alright, it's working. Alright, sweet. Alright, so first we'll just go through the statement of intent.
Yep.
So I've just read through, if this is the third draft.
Third draft.
Everything seems to be up to order. It's nicely pronunciated. I can't. Pronunciated, yep. Like, but it's all clear on what you want to do and what you intend to do. So.
And we've established the idea of marking it and how we're going to rank work.
Yeah.
And make a graph at the end to show improvement.
Yeah. So that's all planned. That's all fine. You've just gone through one of your mental tasks. Remove one I set a while ago, which is
yes.
I believe the director video.
Yes, from last week we set the tasks of, from the last meeting, we set the tasks of going over a video in the style of a director I researched in my first task. So I then went out and with an actor and then filmed part of a script that I'd written and chose to direct in the same style of the director that I researched from the first mental task, which you hadn't seen beforehand.
I had not seen the research task as well.
Yeah.
Just so it would be clear when I saw the video, I would be able to identify who the director was.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of going from a directing point of view, it was very clear on what you were doing, the sort of cues and stuff.
Yes.
But when I watched it, I wasn't sure of which director it actually was the style of.
Yeah.
So could you clarify?
So the director that I did the style of was David Ayer. So he's directed various action films like Training Day, Suicide Squad, and End of Watch, and a few other things like that. And his style of direction is this very intense, scenario-focused style. So what he'll do is before a take, he'll suddenly just throw out a really intense direction, like your mum's just died in a car crash, action. And it's that style that he emphasises himself on and tries to make a big part of his auteur style.
So I could see that when you were directing Paul? Yeah,
yes, Paul, yeah.
So when you were directing Paul, I could see the intentions behind your directing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with directing, everyone is different on how they work, so I wouldn't necessarily follow his style all the time.
No, that isn't particularly my style. Obviously, for this task, it was to try and imitate someone's style. My is a lot more calmer and not as intense.
How did you feel when you were doing that?
It felt out of character, considering, because we did the Arden shoots, and I was directed on that, and my style of direction's a lot more relaxed. It's going to talk to them, reassuring how they were in the performance, and then giving them smaller points, unless obviously it's something that drastically needs to be changed. It's more changing things when we've already established a point. So we establish a way that we're going to go through it beforehand, blocking it out, and how I want everything doing, and then changing little pieces bit by bit.
Yeah, which is very similar to a lot of people's style. Because obviously everyone works in a different way, and a good thing to bear in mind, which I believe you covered in the video, is obviously because you were following someone's style, you couldn't do it in your own way, but obviously you always have to adapt depending on the actor. So so if your actor's isn't very good at visionising or character creating themselves, but we are a brilliant actor, it always helps to act it out a bit more with them. So they get the idea of the emotion or that kind of spot, while some actors obviously can just be like, you just tell them, alright, you just need to be sad, and then they can make their own reasons for why they are sad. Bring their own character together. Yeah,
that was something that popped up in the Arden shoots as well, because the first two actors that I did 2 shoots, the first 2 actors were a lot more, they were really good at what they were doing, but getting into the characters was a lot harder, whereas the second people were straight on with their characters and the direction. My direction completely changed from them to them, because I wasn't as much directing their emotion and their performance as I was directing their actions and what they were doing with their bodies, whereas with the first people, it wasn't what they were doing with the bodies, it was what they were doing with the voice and the tone and things. Yeah. So it definitely does change, I get that.
Yeah, so obviously you've been able to follow someone's style.
Yes.
You figure out it doesn't work for you. So in the future what you can do as well is look at other directors' styles and maybe like pinpoint little parts.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, so like it's the same with like editing and stuff, like editing techniques. For example, my editing techniques are snippets of parts I've taken from other people. Yeah. So like directing is exactly the same. Like you take little snippets and then you make your own kind of
style out of that. Yeah, that's. I think that is interesting as well, because there is definitely parts of his style. Like I do think it is an effective style, especially the scenario-based things when you put yourself suddenly in another scenario and you're trying to adapt that to the script you've got, I do think it's an interesting style. It's just an intense one.
Yeah,
if your script demands that sort of intense thing, especially with the films that he directs, which are action films, it makes sense. But for quieter tones like that script there, it was not, it was not a fitting style of direction, but obviously that wasn't the point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so the next point is a casting. So you have a casting later on
Yes.
today. You are going to film.
Yes, we are.
I will be able to mentor you on working with the how well you worked with the actors and stuff, all that kind of stuff. That's another task.
We've got, so there's 2 casting calls, so what I'm going to do is, we've got one today with 2 actors and we've got one tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is film the one today and then show you tomorrow the footage, and you can give me any feedback so I can improve for the second one.
I mean, you've had a chance as well, you're on the Witches and Bitches cast.
Yes, I was.
Because I remember, because I was there at the same.
Yes, that was another task.
So that was,
to come with you on that and experience what a proper professional casting shoot would be like and how that was done. So I definitely took a lot of notes from that and really gained a lot of information from that, which I can put into this casting call here.
Yeah. You've also done the character bios.
Yes.
Which I've just had a look through and they look very up to scratch. The only upside I was bringing was if you definitely have a sort of an image for your character, or like you don't have to get bang on.
Yeah.
Sort of. I always feel when I do them, like if I have a picture of or just a kind of a reference for.
Yeah.
Like obviously not the same, but very similar.
Yeah.
That normally helps me as well get a grasp of
what they're going to look like.
What they're going to look like,
right,
that kind
cool.
of thing.
Yeah.
So, and it sometimes helps, but you don't always have to do it. It's always a personal.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it would be a useful thing.
But I mean, you put some good stuff in there. So you put like for characters' relationship status. What? American status. You've also put like their relationship to other characters. So like you said there, who they're dating. So like boss and stuff. Like if they're a mum or anything.
Yeah.
That's you've done a really good job there. Your background just gives you enough info.
And a bit of an appearance as well.
And the appearance, which is obviously very similar to the photo. You could do either one, but I think most of the time.
Yeah, photos are probably going to be more effective.
Especially if you're working for, say, a client, because clients aren't always, like producers and stuff, they're not very, not saying they're not creative, but just not obviously in that mindset.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
like they're a business, not a creative thing, so I think it just depends on the thing, but overall they look very good.
So I've done that, we've gone over that footage. There was something else. So the storyboard as well. I've sent you the storyboard over and you're going to go through that. And all of these pieces of work are all going to be given like a grade or a mark, and then on my report they will have an improvement grade and seeing what's what, and you get an overall idea of what has developed throughout the tasks and then my own personal feedback to that. So my next tasks to clarify are casting call.
I think that will be.
I think
that will be alright.
And then going over and then grading things. So my next task is to do the casting call and then improve on that.
Yeah.
And go over that and then fix it for the next one.
Alright.
Fantastic.
Alright, thank you very much.